Cartoons. Everyone's got their favourite, and if you grew up at any time in the last 30 years, there's a good chance your favourite aired on Cartoon Network. Since 1992, those little checkerboard squares have seen hundreds of cartoons, and some not cartoons, come and go. And while many of us have fond memories of the network in its heyday, back when they only showed good cartoons during the specific years of whenever you personally were the target demographic, few of us ever really know why it is our favourite childhood shows come to an end. With an audience too young to understand the complexities of viewing figures, merchandising contracts, and spicy drama between executives and creatives, cartoon cancellations don't often receive quite the same levels of scrutiny as shows aimed at adults. One day that show you like just isn't on the air anymore, and you simply have to accept it. So, to set that straight, I combed the entire Cartoon Network back catalogue to try and find the answer as to why each of these shows ended up ending. So join me as we explore the history of Cartoon Network cancellations. Now, before we begin, I do need to set a few ground rules because while we will be covering every Cartoon Network show, asterisk, we will not be covering every show that has ever been on Cartoon Network. And what I mean by that is that in the early days of Cartoon Network, the majority of its broadcasting was classic cartoons from the Hanna-Barbera library of 60s, 70s and 80s shows. And there's no point talking about why those shows ended when they'd already finished decades before Cartoon Network even existed. So rule number one is that to be in this list, it has to be a show which had new episodes debut on Cartoon Network before any other channel. No reruns of retro Hanna-Barbera shows, so no Hong Kong Phooey, and no reruns of recent cartoons that aired on other stations originally, so no Shaolin Showdown. Now, in the UK and other territories, Shaolin Showdown did premiere on Cartoon Network, but in the US it had its first run on Kids WB, which brings us to rule number 2. This list is based specifically on programming from Cartoon Network USA, and for 3 good reasons. 1, it's realistically where most of the audience for this video will be from. 2, it's the region with the most readily available information about these shows. And 3, it's the audience that had the most impact on the fate of these shows. America is where Cartoon Network is based, and it's where the big decisions get made. Which tunes precious little Caleb in Dubuque, Iowa was watching probably had twice as much influence over what got picked up for a new season than what I was watching in the UK. Which is why Sheep in the Big City got cancelled, and why CN Real dragged on for so long. And hey Caleb in Dubuque, Iowa, shout out if you are watching, fuck! But on the flip side of this is rule 3. If an international show debuts in the US on Cartoon Network, then it will be included in this list. So don't worry, all your flash animated Canadian favourites will be included. The only exception to rule 3 is rule 4. No anime. A lot of anime premiered in America on Cartoon Network, but nobody would ever consider Rurouni Kenshin or Evangelion to be Cartoon Network shows, so they're not included, obviously. And finally, rule 5. This list is concerning the main Cartoon Network channel and block only. No affiliated stations or streaming services like Boomerang or HBO Max, and none of the major alternative blocks that get separated in Nielsen ratings like Adult Swim. Or else this list would be 5 times longer than it already is. Shows which predate those blocks and stations will be included as long as they are on the main Cartoon Network channel. As soon as they split off into Adult Swim or Boomerang or whatever, then they stop being included. But I will mention if a show transfers out of Cartoon Network into Adult Swim or Boomerang, whatever. I'm sure there will be mistakes in this list. There's not really one well-kept source of information on all this, especially for some of the more obscure shows. I've compiled this based on the sources out there on the internet, and sometimes those sources conflict with each other, so I've had to take an educated guess. But apologies for any mistakes in advance. And finally, because this project is so big, I will be splitting the video into 2 parts. This one covering Cartoon Network from the 1990s up until the end of the 2000s, and a second part from 2010 through to present day. If you don't want to miss that second part, maybe subscribe? I don't know. For your convenience, I'll chapter the video year by year so that you can skip to any part that's of particular interest to you, and I'll also add annotations to the shows to point out if they're Cartoon Network originals, syndicated shows, acquisitions, live action, etc. You don't need to know the difference between a syndicated show and an acquired show, but it's generally that syndicated shows are American and acquired shows are generally foreign. For international shows, I'll also try and include the flags of the countries that produce the series. And so, with all of that out of the way, let's begin. The Moxie Show. Final episode premiere date, 25th of December, 1995. Take it! So the first show on this list is a really interesting one actually. The Moxie Show was the first original show by Cartoon Network, though it doesn't always get that distinction because it didn't rely on original content. Being an anthology series showcasing classic cartoons from the Turner Library, the only original content was in the intro, outro and interstitial parts that featured the title character Moxie. The series aired under the title The Moxie Pirate Show until the final episode where it was renamed to The Moxie and Flea Show. This is because that final episode was actually an unsuccessful pilot trying to transition the show from relying on archive content to a more typical episodic cartoon comedy. Interestingly, Moxie and Flea were animated using fully 3D mocap technology and even appeared live in the 1993 debut special, The Great International Tune-In. This arguably makes Moxie the world's first VTuber, more than a decade before the tube part of VTubing even existed. A lot of the Moxie Show is now lost media, with only a few full episodes existing today. The Moxie Show was cancelled in 1995 after 24 episodes, largely because it just didn't prove that popular with audiences, and because Cartoon Network decided to pass on the Moxie and Flea pilot. The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest. Final episode premiere date, 16th of April 1997. Another interesting entry early on the list is The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest, a revival of the classic 1960s adventure series and its 1986 reboot. This iteration of the show would be an ambitious adventure series using both classic 2D and now dated 3D animation. I never really watched that much of the show myself, but I do remember it having one of the best intros of any cartoon. Although Real Adventures was a Turner Hanna-Barbera production, the show is technically syndicated because it aired on Cartoon Network, TBS and TNT at the same time, and wasn't branded as a Cartoon Network original. The series got the green light following Turner's acquisition of Hanna-Barbera, with the new owners receiving high demand from fans for new Jonny Quest content. The new show was an ambitious update of the old series, not just because of the inclusion of CGI, but because developers Peter Lawrence and Takashi Masunaga wanted a more mature take on the series, and because Turner embarked on a huge advertising campaign to promote it. Development hell led to Lawrence and Masunaga being taken off the show and some of their original ideas being reworked and reined in, furthering delays. Despite a positive critical reception and good viewership from adult fans of Jonny Quest, the show failed to establish strong ratings with its target demographic of young boys, and merchandise sales were poor. The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest was cancelled after less than 1 year, with 2 seasons and 52 episodes. And while the show itself may not have proved popular, my god, that intro still slaps.
They say higher education is outdated, irrelevant, but at Grand Canyon University, we shatter the
What a Cartoon. Final episode premiere date, 28th of November, 1997.
Contemporary cartoon crossings. From us to you.
At the risk of sounding like a broken record, What a Cartoon is also a really interesting entry onto this list. And in fact, it might be the most interesting. It's certainly one of the most important shows in Cartoon Network history. What a Cartoon was Fred Seibert's baby. If you don't know Fred Seibert, he's a guy largely responsible for developing Cartoon Network's identity and brand and feel and just the vibe in the early years. Much that he later disowned them, so not all winners, I suppose. The success of What a Cartoon led Seibert to take the format elsewhere once he left Cartoon Network. Under the name Oh Yeah Cartoons on Nickelodeon, it spawned Chalk Zone and Fairly Odd Parents. Random Cartoons, also on Nick, had pilots for Fanboy and Chum Chum, Bravest Warriors and Adventure Time. Cartoon Institute had Secret Mountain Fort Awesome, Regular Show and Uncle Grandpa, as well as a pilot for Star vs. the Forces of Evil. So, yeah, basically the legacy of What a Cartoon has been pretty significant. After Seibert left Cartoon Network, the show was renamed to Cartoon Cartoons, bringing it in line with how the network branded its original content. Cartoon Planet. Final episode premiere date, 4th of February 1998.
It's next on Cartoon Network.
Feels weird to talk about this before the show that it span off from, but Cartoon Planet was a spin-off of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, in which Space Ghost characters would introduce classic Turner cartoons with original skits and songs in between. Originally an hour long, Cartoon Planet was then reduced to a 30-minute format without the classic cartoons, so it was just random skits compiled together to make up the runtime. So essentially what they did was turn the entire show into one of those fan edit videos where it's like Cartoon Planet but without the context, although to be fair, Space Ghost did just kind of work like that anyway. Unsurprisingly, this format didn't last too long and the show was cancelled in 1998, but then was revived in 2012 for Cartoon Network's 20th anniversary, now featuring classic Cartoon Network shows from the 90s and 2000s. The Fantastic Voyage of Sinbad the Sailor. Final episode premiere date 18th of April 1998. This is the first show on the list where information gets pretty scarce. The Fantastic Voyage of Sinbad the Sailor was a 1998 animated adventure series based on the classic character from 1001 Arabian Nights. Not a lot of information out there about this series, other than it was produced by Fred Wolf Films, who did the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, and that Sinbad was a first-run syndication on Cartoon Network, meaning that it wasn't produced specifically for Cartoon Network, they just bought the rights to premiere it. New episodes aired from February to April 1998, and the series concluded after 26 episodes, presumably just not generating enough interest to demand more. Note that The Fantastic Voyage of Sinbad has no relation to The Adventures of Sinbad, Sinbad Legend of the Seven Seas, or Sinbad Beyond the Veil of Mist, all of which aired in this same era. Research is still ongoing as to why everyone in the late 90s and early 2000s was so down bad for Sinbad. Big Bag. Final episode premiere date 11th of May 1998.
Using your imagination, check out Big Bag, now on Sundays at 7.
Big Bag was Cartoon Network's first original show to include live action and puppetry, and was a preschool collaboration between Cartoon Network and the Jim Henson Company. The show featured live action segments with actors and Muppets interacting in a fictional shop, interspersed with animated shorts from around the world. It featured cartoons from the UK, Germany, Spain and Australia, and the animated series were regular and recurring throughout Big Bag. Future Courage the Cowardly Dog creator John R. Dilworth made one of those recurring series called Ace and Avery. Between season 1 and 2, the number of featured animated series was reduced from 6 down to 3. Big Bag ended after 2 seasons and 39 episodes. Presumably this was due to costs, as full-blown Jim Henson Muppet productions are notoriously expensive, plus the fact that they then had to license the animated segments on top of that. They'd already reduced the number of featured series by half between seasons, so you can see they were trying to cut down on costs. And the fact that preschool shows didn't fit Cartoon Network's core brand at the time, it's not hard to see why this one didn't continue. Cow and Chicken. Final episode premiere date 13th of August 1999.
Stupid song is driving me nuts!
Oh, Mr. Ice Cream Man! Wait up!
Cow and Chicken was created by David Feiss off the back of a successful What a Cartoon pilot, and is the first show on this list I'd consider to be a true Cartoon Network classic. The show was a surreal comedy about a sister and brother who were a cow and chicken born to human parents, trying to go about their everyday lives while being harassed by a naked devil known as the Red Guy. The series featured a lot of eccentric, shock and gross out humour, which got it into a few controversies, with the episode Buffalo Girls being banned after its first airing due to it containing offensive stereotypes of lesbians. Voice actor Charlie Adler provided the voices of Cow, Chicken, the Red Guy and I.R. Baboon. The show's format consisted of 2 Cow and Chicken segments with a segment of I Am Weasel in between, which would later be spun off into a separate show. Cartoon Network decided not to renew Cow and Chicken in 1999 after 4 seasons and 52 episodes. Feiss has commented that he did want to create more for the show, but Cartoon Network wanted to move on to new things. I Am Weasel. Final episode premiere date 2nd of March 2000.
Well, we're not sure either, but it seems to keep the screen clean.
As I mentioned, I Am Weasel was a spin-off from Cow and Chicken. Alongside Cow and Chicken, these were the final shows made at Hanna-Barbera Cartoons before the studio was restructured into Cartoon Network Studios. Like its sister show, I Am Weasel was another bizarre comedy, following a heroic and intelligent weasel and a jealous, stupid baboon who's always trying to one-up him. And the Red Guy from Cow and Chicken featured as a recurring villain in season 2 of the show. 27 original episodes were made for I Am Weasel, on top of the existing 52 segments which aired as part of Cow and Chicken for 79 episodes in total. Cartoon Roulette. Final episode premiere date 5th of March 2000.
Right?
That's it for Voltron. Now stay tuned for Roulette.
Cartoon Roulette really straddles the line between show and programming block. It was essentially reruns of retro action shows from the Turner Library, with a brief original intro as part of the original Toonami block. The shows featured never aired under their original names, they always aired under the title Cartoon Roulette, as the whole point was that you had to watch to find out what was being played. Cartoon Roulette was cancelled when Toonami rebranded in 2000 and moved away from the old Turner Library towards introducing modern anime. In June 2001, original Cartoon Network president Betty Cohen, who had been appointed by Ted Turner, resigned from the company after clashing with
Before Mike, Lou, and Og, Friday at 8 on Cartoon Fridays.
Mike, Lou and Og was greenlit off the back of a for the celebrities.
The gold is real, but so is the danger.
With episodes being broken up by random character skits. As mentioned previously, the Cartoon Show was a continuation of What a Cartoon. Canada. Final episode premiere day decides to sign on for more episodes, and for whatever reason, one, meaning only 39 of the planned 52 episodes were ever completed. The Chuck Jones Show. Final episode premiere date 11th of April 2004.
Salutes him with the Chuck Jones Show. New.
So you pulled this out of a $10 pack?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How much for the sweatpants?
$5 a piece, they exercise extra large, and I do 10 for the whole outfit.
Would I be able to just give you my shoes in exchange for like sweatpants?
I'll just give you a pair, man. The next time I see you, just look out for somebody.
You sure?
Yeah, what color you want?
It doesn't matter. I'm just really cold. Yeah.
Yeah, you cold here, man. That look good on you.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, put it on. You don't need the pants?
This is more than enough, dude.
You sure?
Yeah. Thank you. You struggling yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing bad. I'm always doing bad.
Why?
I don't have no Minnesota State ID and I can't get no job.
How much is an ID?
It's been more than 5 years. I gotta start over and come with my birth certificate and my social security card.
How much would it cost?
I think it's like $26 for the birth certificate.
So you don't have $26 or anything to get it? No. Oh, dude. I don't want to take this, man. I feel bad.
You sure?
Yeah, man. I
thought you was cold.
I am, dude, but I can't take it from you seriously. Do you have a place to sleep?
Well, I stay at the Mission.
The homeless shelter?
Yeah. University.
Why'd you give this to me?
Cause you cold. You said you was cold.
You struggling in yourself?
I'll be all right. I mean, I got like $2 or $3. I'm not doing that bad. I give me a Mountain Dew when I want. That's all that matters.
You help people a lot?
I got to. Everybody need help out here, man. Like, I can get you housing right now. You come stay with me tonight at the Mission.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't need housing. I have my own house.
Then how you cold out here?
I was looking for somebody nice enough to help me.
What's that?
This is for you.
You serious? Oh, man. Is you serious?
I'm serious, man.
You just gave me a bankroll. What's your name?
Josh.
My name's Duran. Hold on, let me give some of this money to somebody.
What?
Yeah, hold up. God bless you, man. Get you some gas.
What's going on?
We just blessing people. He just gave me all this money, so since he gave me some, I gave you some.
Well, I'm gonna take this as a blessing.
Thank you.
I want to give this back to you, brother.
How you really keep it, man?
No, dude, no. Sell it, please. Sell it.
Oh, it's Power Baby Martial Art Board Breaking Challenge. Let's see who can break the most boards. Up first, Mike Thomas. Good hit. On deck is Tate. Going down the middle. Lightweight division. This is for the ISK World Championship. 3-directional board breaking challenge. Here we go. Ready to break. Team Chip Martial Arts. Down the middle. Good hit. He takes the lead with that one. On deck, Justin Cuellar, his teammate and world champion. Here we go. Ready to break. Us. Down the middle. Bam. He takes the lead. On deck, Parker Moody. And then the returning champion, Josh Stokes. Parker Moody, one of the top breakers in the world. Here we go. Ready to break here at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort.
Let's go.
Over 40 countries in attendance and over 3,000 competitors. Here we go. For the lead, ISK World Championships live on ESPN. And here goes. Bam, 20 of 25. He takes the lead up last, Josh Stokes. Going for 20. 20 of 20 would be 100%, and it would give him the win. Here we go. For the lead and the win for the ISK Lightweight 3-Directional World Title. Here it goes, ready to break. Us down the middle, and bam, congratulations on the World Title, Power Baby. Us, Power Baby, martial art board breaking.
George, is that you?
Yeah.
Welcome back, bro. How you doing?
Doing pretty awesome.
Solid dap as usual, man. I like the fit.
Yeah, thanks.
Got a little Marvel action going on?
Yeah.
How's your PS2 treating you?
PS2 is training like a dream, man.
What you been playing on it?
Been playing T-Hawk Underground 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Tony Hawk, baby.
And funny enough, I finished Underground 1.
That's fire, bro. Okay, George, we gotta talk about something, man.
What do you want to talk about?
Your videos are going absolutely viral, bro. People are loving you.
You guys are making me happy, and I'm proud of it, honestly.
You're a legend, bro. I will say this, though. Let me show you something kind of crazy. People have been donating super chats to you, bro.
Oh, damn. That's pretty cool.
And I went through, I added them all up. Got a little gift for you. Well, it's not from me. It's from all the commenters here. George, we got like $160 here for you, dude.
Holy macaroni.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
It's all for you, brother. Fold that up, put it in your pocket. I don't want you spending it here, okay?
Okay.
But we got to get you a few new PS2 games for the system today.
All right.
So I'm going to let you choose 3 free games off the PS2 game rack. All right, bro. Do some browsing.
All right.
Let's get you some new games, man. Shout out to the commenters, man. You guys are too kind.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Naruto Ultimate Ninja.
Ooh, a new Naruto game. I like it, dude.
Yep.
That's your guy right there, Orochimaru.
Yeah, Zabuza's pretty cool, too.
Zabuza's pretty sick, I can't lie.
Funny enough, he is also voiced by Steve Bloom.
What? George knows ball.
Yep. See this video?
They should've never gave me money, should've kept me in a house like it's 2020. Cause I'm back outside, ain't got nothing to do except piss y'all off, cause I got nothing to lose. So
So why do I need to step out of this vehicle?
Because there's a Supreme Court case ruling called Pennsylvania v. Mims that a law enforcement officer can give you a lawful directive to exit the vehicle.
Do you remember this one, the anabolic cop who pulled a passenger out of a car?
4761.
Me. It's coming back as declined.
You know what I mean? Just take the food.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man. You sure? He was like, I'll get it working, huh?
It says it was.
All right, you want this back?
What?
You want this
Well,
food?
go ahead and keep yours, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we can't take it served after.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
4761.
I don't know, I can do it better. There was like another vocal in there.
See, you get mad at me and then you want to be in here doing 10 takes of some bullshit.
First take every time, let's go. Starting now. Yo left, yo left, yo left. I don't know, I can do it better.
Oh, you can order from here? I didn't even know that. You don't know how to order? Okay, what do you want? You want a combo?
I want 3-piece chicken.
You want 3 fish?
out of the store.
You know what? How about you call the cops? We'll deal with them. That's fine. I'm gonna call the cops. You stay here.
Call.
Fuck you!
What's up, Zach?
What up, Leo?
So the warranty doesn't cover physical or water damage.
I never dropped it. The side started folding up. Obviously, the
doesn't
seal
just break by itself.
The seal wasn't on right.
My phone's done it, and I brought it back to people when I had my phones.
Warranty doesn't cover physical or water damage. If you look at the receipt,
there is no water damage.
just physical.
Imagine your father build the biggest rock band of the 2000s, and you're just about to find out.
One of my daughters said, I signed up to play this song at this school, like festival type of thing. Yeah. She had taken 2 lessons, and she goes, I'm going to play guitar and sing. And I was like, okay. But there's a couple things she's not doing correctly. Like one of the chords is wrong, for example. Yeah. So I kind of went in, I was like, how's everything going? And I was like, hey, by the way, like that one chord at the end of this part, like it's actually, your fingers go here. And she's like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, okay, sorry, like whatever, I'm sure you got it. I told my wife the story, like we were going to bed, I was telling this story. My wife starts laughing at me. She's like, that's not what happened. She's like, after you left, I went in the room and I was like, hey, you should listen to your dad. And my daughter goes, what does he know about performing? My wife literally pulled up a video of Linkin Park on stage at like Rock in Rio in front of 85,000 people, and she shows it to her. My daughter goes, who's that?
Imagine your...
How much is it for the tent?
$59.99.
Could I get 1,000 of them?
You want 1,000 of these?
1,000 tents?
I don't think we have 1,000. Probably have about 50.
Well, I'll take 50. All right, thank you, sir.
I'm gonna reset it.
We checked the weather and it said